All right, I'm in my diving bell. My mind is clear. I'm 20,000 leagues under the sea, yo. Can't you tell? No Titanic discovery. No, we're not doing that. We're doing the shallow inland sea of a Texas 12,000 years ago. Shallow now, not deep. Shallow. That's what used to be here, where I'm at in Texas. Shallow inland sea. And yeah, most of Texas was underwater at that time. There was some melting ice caps sliding down the United States, and they were bringing interesting.
What did you say?
Talking to the video they're making. A friend likes to ask me something as she goes through the doorway, which is,
what he said.
"Ooh, who's in here? Me."
Just because I heard you when you were walking in. When I was walking in. Oh.
The person that's coming in the doorway. In magic, you're supposed to observe how somebody moves through a doorway because that will indicate if there's problems or not. If someone charges you up from the doorway, either they're in the doorway and they start asking you things right as you're coming through the doorway, they've got something bad.
They do not.
Yes,
I just said what you say because I heard you say something when I walked through the door.
I'm making the video. I'm telling the story, ma'am. Case in point. The best time to learn something or to recognize something that is when it happens. This is true, though. People that are insecure with themselves normally will have this activity of questioning somebody at the wrong time. It's the timing of it that gives it away. It's because when it's disorienting, when it's confusing, when you don't have enough information. Like the other day, I could barely get in the store and get my stuff, and then Bonnie wanted me to go through my list of shopping stuff because she had something and she described how she made the meal. Well, that's great. It's wonderful. But my things that I bought, I didn't buy to make meals. I bought to last me a long time so I could eat. So there wasn't anything on the list. And I noticed that stress that trying to produce the thought of it was causing, and also the mechanism of there's something always there to collect it. Usually that's whatever entity attachments are. The things that cause schizophrenics to hear voices and they get all those suggestions. Very rarely do I get a suggestion in my mind, but I know there are thoughts that I've had. Like I was seeing my dad in the cremating fire, and that wasn't from me. I was seeing it, and it was one of those things that was trying to get me off track or something. But I just noted that that's what it was. And another guy said on the videos that he was talking about it, he was out playing with his dog, and the dog ran past him, and in his mind he heard, "Kill the dog, cut its head off." And he's like, that's got to be one of those things. Now, if you act on what they say, it will attach to you. If you notice what it is, you'll notice that your mind is not completely free from shit, environment, whatever it is. Ghosts, maybe you hear them, maybe you don't. But some of the thoughts you think are yours aren't your thoughts. It's better to know that. Once you know that, you can at least be mindful when you have a thought like that, how to act. If you act on it, it will attach to you. That's a fact. Whatever those things are. And it doesn't really matter what they are, other than you know that they're not you. Not in any way that you would want. Yes, we're all one. I get that. But those things they're like diseases, poisons, viruses. They're like a virus, because a virus isn't alive, but they want to inject into you their bullshit. That's why they all tell the people negative shit. Kill yourself, cut yourself. You're stupid. They're lying to you. That's the type of shit they say. Now I'll go with cowboy. You going with cowboy now? I guess, since I actually took myself off. You see how purple my house is? It's purple in here. Because this light is a black light. See my mustache? You can see the mustache because it's a different color, not the right color. The cowboy hat is dark. You can't find a white cowboy hat on here. You can't do it. You want to be a good guy? Fucking go somewhere else. You want to play with Snapchat? You're going to be a bad guy. If you're going to be a cowboy, you're not going to be a good one. This is a shifty ass cowboy. I know it. My friend knows it. She's thinking when I said it, and her furrowing brow tells me she knows. She knows. That's right. This shifty son of a bitch. Shifty cowboy's voice. It's not a real cowboy. But it's a what do you call it? Improvisationally created cowboy self. Because since I don't listen to country, I don't give a fuck about cowboy. I like hats, but not that much. That want a cowboy hat. You see what I'm saying? And I'm from Texas, so the disposition to go cowboy is already there with Texans. Try to move to Georgia. They're going to ask you all these questions. You're going to know that that's something when they ask you these questions. Well, you're in second grade. If you were me in second grade, they wanted to know where was my horse. I was like, what in the fuck? Why do I have a horse? Because I'm from Texas? We're supposed to all have horses? Yes, that's what they thought. But these are Georgia kids now. They're a different brand of bumpkin. Their self, which isn't the same, but is southern and similar to Texas. Texas is badass, though. Texas is bad. Georgia's beautiful. It's great. But Texas can kick Georgia's ass all day long. It's just a fact. It's too small of a state. You got shit on Texas. Peaches are nice. They got some other things that are nice. Fuck it. It was really cool living there. We lived in Georgia in 87 and 88. And there have been multiple times since I've lived here in Bastrop where I swear there's a portal that goes directly from here to Georgia. Now, it took us 9 hours to drive there. I remember them saying that. It might have been longer than that. It might have been. I don't remember. I think I remember 9 hours, but maybe it's just that number sticking out. I don't fucking know. I think it was 9 hours, though. If you drove straight for 9 hours, I think you could get to Georgia. It's not that far, but it is far. All the others.
I went on a plane.
I went on a plane too, alone.
To Georgia.
Georgia's beautiful. They have this vine there that they brought over in the 1800s. They thought it was going to do something. It covers everything. It's called kudzu. It just covers the whole landscape. So it did not. Invasive species sometimes just run amok in areas they're not had any of that in before. So nature's crazy. The point is saying this. The point is the threshold doorways. When people come through, or you're coming through. If you're coming through, say you just come home from shopping, you got your groceries. If somebody's inside the house, they start asking you questions because they've been waiting on you the whole time. If they don't give you the minute it takes to go through the doorway and acclimate, there's a lack of awareness in your fucking ability to be stable and whole and healthy, and that lends to a narcissistic type.
Well, if you did.
Oh, making my video, not making it all out. But if you want to make people comfortable in the environment, and you can order your environment that you're in, if you want to control it correctly and flow it right, then you make people aware of these things so that they know. Because if you don't know what you're actually doing when you're doing it, it's not like it's your fault. There may be a reason, some sort of stress, something that's coming out that you're not aware of, and somebody might not be able to point it out to you because they might not give a fuck about that. Some people don't. They can't even address things like that. I don't know what you're talking about. That's crazy. I don't fucking know what you mean. That's one way people go when you talk to them. Another way is to immediately charge you up because they're thinking what you're saying is negative on them. Not realizing that we're all experiencing other people all the time doing the same things. But the Lilith spirit is said to inhabit the doorway. That's all it says. And to watch. Because the Hebrew Kabbalists will put these Hebraic spells inside the doorway to keep the Lilith out. What do they think she's going to do? Eat their babies? That's what they thought. A lot of child deaths attributed to Lilith. I don't know what her problem is, other than what the book says. So I don't know. I can't say that. But it does have some necessity to say it, because whatever that thing is, it still is. And it still did whatever it did. But you don't want to have any attachments, known or unknown, of anything other than you. Period. You don't want none. Even if they give you fucking badass powers, you don't want them. You should get them yourself. Don't take some monster inside of you. If you're aware of it, don't do it. Bad news. This guy telling his story on another channel. Got something in him trying to exercise control over his body. First it started healing his sciatic back. It's cool, it's healing me. Yeah, so it can take you over. It don't want to have a fucked up back. That's what it was doing. And he hasn't said that yet. But that's the point. It was going to do the, was doing him the same way as the other spirits. When the schizophrenic people who have a negative entity inside of them encounter other people, the entities are hostile to the other people. No, they don't hear them in their heads because they don't have them, but they all say that the entities inside of them are hostile to other people. This guy said it was the same way with this entity because it was pretending to be good, but it wasn't. And he first was able to tell because of its hostility to other people, and it was trying to take over his body. And it obviously knew how to do it because it was doing it with energy, and it was fucking sucked him to the floor. He couldn't move, and he thought it went away. But he got it from doing some shit, I don't fucking know. But he invited it into his body. Big mistake. You don't want spirits inside of you. Maybe you do it to channel, I don't fucking know. I don't care, I'm telling you. You got a spirit, don't be rooming up with no other spirit in your body than you. Bad idea. I don't care what the fuck gift is. Because you can never know. Something can lie to you and play a role all the fucking it needs to convince you, and then might fuck you up. One day just walk you out into traffic or something. So you're playing with serious fucking Russian roulette, letting any spirit interact with you from inside your body. Bad news. But I think we all know that. I just wanted to share. Have a nice day, sons of bitch. Yeah, well, he's getting out because it's just for no insurance. The frequency of the crown chakra, the violet flower of life, supports our spiritual connection to the universe. So this is basically telling you, I don't have to read all this, because I'm going to read it correctly by reading what it says in what areas you picked. Alright, this is your external problem. It's perception. Now, when I had that experience, look, and I had an experience of being, I saw myself talking about it because it was 5 years ago, and it's been longer than 5 years. I was like, it feels like I've been in the, like, quarantined from women. Like, not even, like wrong. That's how I do. There was something fucking...
It's all perception.
It was perception, too. But my perception was warped. I did get rescued by the angel. I got into a fight in a boxing match. I turned into a chicken nugget. They tried to turn me into a chicken nugget. They said I was food. These are fourth dimensional things hooked into us. Or they were. They removed it. They took them out of there. And they're like, yeah, you were. You were.
Hunter Scott. Scott's. No? Okay.
I don't.
This morning's message, and I don't ever really talk to him. Says, I told him, I said, I hate life. He says, I don't like it either, but I don't think I hate it. Why? I said, everything is wrong. He said, it's all perception.
Perception is the thing that you can change, that you have, and it's even better than that. Because when you start running all your energy from perceiving things as you do, holistically, like through the crown, because when that's your whole body system. The crown chakra basically is your 7-body whole system able to interact with other whole systems. So it's either you're interacting from that place or not. So if you want to transmute negative or get caught in your own bullshit loops, then you would go inside the lower chakras. But if you've got internal, you've got fucking crown chakra, that means you can. That means you can. And it was the guides and the spirits that had the reason why to fucking try to invite you over and all that shit. Because that wasn't my idea. That was the spiritual worlds. They had a reason for it and everything. I was like, that sounds like a good idea. You know? I was like, that does sound like a good idea. They knew what the fuck they're doing. They knew. They know. I don't know what the fuck. And I still just have my basic single fucking human desire element to where I just want to be doing whatever it is. In my mind, what did I attach it to? Oh, the movie night. The movie night. Which is not real. Not like literally real. But you have to trick your body in a certain way to think it's getting something that it doesn't need or have to have. But the lower part of your mind will not cooperate with you unless it's being fed. You know, and you have to send energy into your own body, obviously. But like that'll help you decide what's internal and external, because sometimes there's other shit hooked into your sexuality, your fucking anger, emotion issues, parent-child development, all those things. But until you know yourself, you won't realize what these things are for you. So I know. I nourish myself. I don't rob my lower desires. I just neutralize them out and raise it up, raise the energy and what I'm doing up. So that's just a little insight onto that. Perception, though, it says that externally. So that is something that you can hook into. And if you alter your perception, think of it like, instead of saying I smell, I see, I that, which is all your five senses divided, just perceive. If you perceive you smell something, fucking try to share it from that. You don't have to change your language. But when you do change from that, you let go of all that stupid personalization that leads us down a road of being just alone and in wanting for shit without having it. That's ultimately true. I found that out. True. And it's not bad. But that's the one thing you can do. The easiest thing to do is start to perceive and come from the place of someone who's perceiving things. But let the senses go. Like, release your me in each of those sensory areas. I hear, I see, I speak, I touch. That's the easiest I to let yourself let go of. That don't mean not see or be blind or be deaf. No, it means don't personalize everything at the entryway to your fucking aura. So if it goes through that gateway and you're able to filter it right, then you'll be able to use all the energy that's been stolen from you by so many things. It's ungodly. Like the amount of, like if you saw like an ant bed with all the ants, like the amount of things that are just produced by the person whose energy's fucked up. Like every thought you have that's not in balance can be a whole nother bug, you know, crawling around, or a snake you'd have to fucking experience, or something fucked up. But you don't experience things like that, and you do get so much energy back that's yours that's been stolen by dumbass shit. Like very small letter I's that are just trying to be, you know, a lot of them aren't even authorized to be in existence. It's our fucking humans fucking up with their technology and their unskilled magic, creating thought forms that can grow and live. It happens all the time, every day. But those things live in not the same realm as us, but in the astral realm, which you don't even want to go there. Everything that could be, has been, wrong is there. There's tunnels to get through it from the etheric realm to your physical body. And sometimes you're in the astral world when you're dreaming. That's pretty much where the dreams occur. But you don't want to astral travel. You don't want to do it. It's fun to fly, yeah, sure, it's great. But in that realm, everything's hostile and fucked up. There's nothing you can do there that you would want to do other than fuck yourself up. Let's see what the issue says. Issue, conception. The frequency of conception invites us to bring our consciousness to our origin, the place where everything in creation begins. It helps us to remember the infinite potential that we have in space and what we can manifest through our own focused awareness and intention. And that's true, because This ain't about kids having conception like that. But it's not to detract that that's also why they call it conception. Because you're manifesting, you're creating something, and this is the precursor to it in the physical form. This is the energetic form. Infinite movement and expansion are dancing with stillness and contractions, deep silence harmonizing with the presence of a strong heartbeat.
Can you read that?
Infinite movement. Oh, let me start from the beginning. The frequency of conception invites us to bring our consciousness to our origin, the place where everything in creation begins, the Big Bang, before it even. It helps us to remember the infinite potential and possibilities of this space and what we can manifest through our own focused awareness and intention. Then it says, infinite movement and expansion are dancing with stillness and contraction. Deep silence is harmonizing with the presence of a strong heartbeat. We are at home in this space. That's what it sounds like inside of our body when it's just the sound of the heart beating. And at the same time, this is an indistinguishable sense of stellar connection that is unmistakably not of this earth. Conception can be described as the process of creation. This may refer to the beginning of a life as a physical being, or the start of an idea or a belief, like thinking a thing and making it a reality. At the beginning of everything, there is conceived nothingness, and then becomes something, like a cell splitting into 2, then 4, and so on. At the core of everything, there is a universal heartbeat, represented by the heartbeat graph running through the middle of this activation. The dark blue background shows the vast deep galaxy and the depth of consciousness. The swirling background circles represent the grid that is not from this earth plane, indicating an origin from other dimensions and star systems as well. The bubbles are like splitting cells, symbolized by the concept of creation. Try this. Take a moment to go inside yourself. Remember where you came from. You are made of pure consciousness. You choose to be here in this body at this time and this place. Allow yourself to realize the infinite potential and the possibilities that are able to manifest through your focused awareness and intention through conception. That's a good one. That's actually the thing too. Mouse, motherfuck you, dude. I hear you, loud ass. All right, the next thing is advice. That's the issue. That's the issue. It makes sense. We'll see what advice is. Consciousness. The frequency of consciousness supports our ability to focus our attention on all the multidimensional aspects that show up so that we can include them in our reality. Now read the card. Consciousness can be described as a state of awareness or focused attention, and whatever we direct our attention will dominate our minds. Like the universe, consciousness is alive, forever expanding, breathing, morphing. Consciousness reflects reality, and reality reflects consciousness. In return, in this new energy, our consciousness is rapidly expanding to hold the awareness of many multidimensional aspects of reality. We are increasingly capable of multi-directing our attention to many different layers at the same time, providing us with deep, rich experience in every moment. We no longer receive input solely through the senses that are so closely connected to the body alone. We receive communication from beyond. See, it's saying what I'm trying to say myself. I ain't read this card yet. Light and consciousness are closely connected. They both have quantum attributes that are non-linear. Light is an energy and it can be created through consciousness, and consciousness can be created in light return. Light influences our awareness, our perception, consciousness, and therefore our reality. The center of consciousness image shows the place of birth, where light bursts forth of the core into various realities. The bright purple indicates connection to source. Yellow spheres represent our sense of self emerging from the source, expanding into the flower of life grid. This basically is how we unfold into the reality of 3D reality, the flower of life. Yeah, that's true. So that's badass. Flip it over. Don't press the wrong button. All right, resolution. Here's resolution. You ready? Belief. I got this one yesterday too, and I got it. This is a good one. The frequency of belief supports our sense of self-worth based on our gifts and talents and a strong connection to the source. Advanced reading of cards says, belief is one of the most powerful driving forces towards action and change. Belief can be described as a state of mind we experience when we think that something is true. Up until now, it has mostly been our conscious mind that has determined. Belief can be described as a state of mind we experience when we think something is true. Now, when you know you don't know, and you still have belief, that belief is still useful. But you have to also acknowledge that you don't know if that's true or if something else is possible. And it's helpful to vocalize it because reality, manifestation, all that shit, it doesn't go on what's in your head. It doesn't give a fuck what you think in your head. When you say it out of your mouth is when it's credited to the game. And when you speak with your mouth aloud and you act and you feel something at the same time, magic happens every time. Or something manifests, something will appear. That's the trifecta. That's the three things that when you do them as one, that's the key right there. Because it's not easy to do that. Number one, because you have to have a lot of your own control on those different areas, But if you do, if you can feel something, if you can act, you can surely feel pissed, act out, and go to prison. You can do that all day long. That's not the place where you're aiming, though. You want to aim high, which you can. You still can do all these things. It's still all possible. You just have to recognize more of what's going on with yourself and how you border on other people's areas, and what you want to do with that is up to you. Okay, what am I doing? Reading down. If there is enough mostly our conscious mind has determined whether or not we believe something. If there's enough evidence, logical or scientific facts, in support of a thing, we consider it true, and therefore we believe it. In the new energy, it isn't enough to solely rely on the logical mind to determine our truths of our beliefs. Our world is rapidly being saturated with more than multidimensional elements, like memories from other lifetimes or dimensions, enhanced extrasensory and psychic abilities, and an altered sense of time, to name a few. That require us to change the way we think, and science has not caught up on enough to provide our minds with sufficient evidence to make sense of multidimensionality. We have to rely on other parts of ourself beyond the conscious mind to navigate through the exciting new world. We are in the process of discovering how crucial our heart is and our intuition are, but they need to be considered as valuable as considered as valuable as the analytical mind in determining our beliefs. To thrive in this new energy as co-creational multidimensional beings who are in control of their reality, it is essential that we believe we are these things. Self-worth is crucial. We have to believe without a shred of doubt that we are powerful creators, just as magic requires a deep and unwavering conviction on the part of the magician. We have to believe that anything is possible, especially those things that our mind cannot make sense of. Changing our reality starts with a deeply rooted belief that we can. The color pink is associated with universal love of oneself and others, with sweetness, tenderness, and care. It's also red and white blended together. I noticed that. I'm wearing pink the other day, all pink. Brighter pink
I do that all the time.
brings in an aspect of alive excitement, high energy, and power. The star in the middle can be a beacon of inspiration, indicating our connection in the heavens and the universe. That sort is the source of our beliefs. If necessary, however, the star can be a Chinese star like the ninjas throw and a powerful weapon. Oh, that's nice. If you need a ninja star, it can be that too. Well, that's great.
I need
See, that was
Jargon block.